Oof, hello internet, what are we doing today? I bet you're wondering. There is a giant chart above me and that chart normally doesn't exist. We've never seen it before. It's the first time we've seen that chart. But we're gonna dig into this chart because I'm feeling a little frisky today. I'm feeling like doing something a little different with my YouTube content, you know? We get the teasers all the time and we talk about the music and we make the videos and we've just never really done something as groundbreaking as I think that this video is. And today we will be ranking some of the KNOTZ discography throughout the years by Dragon Ball Z character power levels. I know what you're thinking. This is iconic. This is the best content that the world has ever seen. Said nobody ever. But we're gonna do this because it's something fun that I wanted to do today, and I need to make a YouTube video. So here we go. Okay, so going down the list, so let's kind of explain the tiers first. So up here we have at the top of the list. Like, if you've never seen Dragon Ball Z, firstly pause this video, come back to it in like a month or so after you've binged it, and then we'll go from there. But the first one on the top of this list is Goku Super Saiyan God. Like, come on, that's blue hair, beautifulness, top of the list Goku. Like, you can't touch this. This is the shit. This is the one. This is iconic. This is legendary. But just under that, we also have Super Saiyan Majin Vegeta, who is, in my opinion, one of the best characters in Dragon Ball Z. Like, bad bitch to a T. Like, Majin Buu was already tight. We already liked Vegeta. Vegeta kind of got the end of the stick. And then they were like, yo, we're going to put this little M on you, Vegeta, and have at it, King. So, I mean, that was, little gay Jason also kind of had maybe a little thing for Majin Vegeta, but that's besides the point. Anyways, iconic, but not as iconic as a Goku Super Saiyan God. So, like, this is still, like, this is, like, a good track. Like, this is a track that's like, oh, yeah, no, this is definitely one of the best better KNOTZ tracks. But it's not as good as Goku Super Saiyan God, which is just, like, that's the shit, right? So then, middle of the pack, we have Adult Gohan, who Gohan is also another one of my favorite characters. I mean, he's, from the beginning just has a lot of growth. But I like Adult Gohan. I think that's a good middle tier ground. That's like, yeah, I did my shit when I was a kid. Like, we're good. But, I have a family now, and I have people to take care of. And I think that this version of the KNOTZ tracks is like, they're pretty good. Like, yeah, they could still, they could still kick some butt when they need to. But at the same time, like, they got other shit that they're doing, so maybe not quite as, middle of the road, right? So then towards the bottom, we got Krillin. I don't even know what to say about Krillin. If you haven't watched Dragon Ball Z, I mean, poor Krillin. He gets his butt handed to him way too many times, and he's just not quite up to stuff. He's not Adult Gohan. You know what I mean? He's not there. He's not like middle of the pack. He's below middle of the pack. He's still around. We give him credit where credit is due. Like, he did that thing. He put in the work. He helped the team. But no. So Krillin's kind of like the tracks that I think I might have outgrown a little bit, or just might not, they might just not be, they're not quite middle of the road. They're a little bit below that. And so then on the very, very bottom, we have Emperor Pilaf, who Emperor Pilaf has been in most incarnations of Dragon Ball Z throughout the years. So from Dragon Ball, like the baby ones and on. And he is just this pitiful little runt. I'm sorry, man. But dude, you've had how much time to get these Dragon Balls and all this? I mean, I don't know. It's just a mess. So that's like, forget about it. Like, you've been around for too long, and you're just irrelevant at this point. We've moved on. There's bigger and better things in the world of music and Dragon Ball Z than that tier. So without further ado, now that I've kind of talked about them, we'll go ahead and we'll jump into the list. Now, I just picked some random songs kind of here and there. Most of them are either collabs or individual solo produced songs. I think there's one vocal feature. I think it's just one. Yeah. But okay. So we're just going to kind of go down the list. It's in no order. And you might not have heard a lot of this music, which is fine. That's the point. That's the point of this video, is to educate you about my discography while also talking shit about some of my music, while also comparing them to Dragon Ball Z characters, because we love Dragon Ball Z characters. All right, let's go. So the first one we have here is This is Particles. Okay. Particles was like one of my third tracks, I think. It was definitely in like the first year. When I was going through that kind of phase of KNOTZ, it was more like ambient kind of music. Like, I was really kind of just trying to almost like score, like, I don't know. I had this whole space score thing going through my head. And as much as it's not really like like it wouldn't be like some banger you'd hear at like a anything like that. I will say I did always appreciate how this song still kind of had like an environment thing going on, so it wasn't that bad. Do I think it's a dope Gohan level? No. You're gonna go on the Krillin level for sure. You're not as crappy as Emperor Pilaf, but you're not really middle of the pack. You're just not there yet. Not there yet. Oof. Short idea. Anyways, okay. Next up on this, we have Alt plus 0216. Also one of my earlier tracks. This is one of those tracks where I wish I still had the file for it, because I feel like I could just totally like beef this up and do a lot with it. But it's actually one of the ones that's on Spotify and all that stuff. As far as one of my earlier tracks go. Kind of almost like trancey kind of vibes. Still in that kind of early phase where I was trying to go from the more ambient stuff into the, the more dancey stuff, whatever you want to say. But as far as Dragon Ball Z power levels go, Alt 0216, man, I almost want to put it in Krillin tier, but it's actually, it's a little bit better than that. It's pretty middle of the pack. Like, this is something I think, like I said, I could probably get away with like tweaking it now and probably put it out. So we're gonna say Alt 0216 is Adult Gohan for sure. Okay, next up is Trying, which is a collab that I did with my buddy Disciple, and it was one of the first tracks that I ever did my vocals on and wrote the lyrics and all that stuff too. So while a little underproduced, like definitely production of it could be a lot better now. It's still one of the most iconic tracks of mine. Just, it's that bitch. Like, it was one of the OG that bitches. So I kind of want to put it in Goku God tier, because it's it's up there as far as me. But you know what? Maybe as far as just in general, maybe it might be Super Saiyan Majin Vegeta. Maybe it's like, you're still pretty bitch. You're up there, but like, oh, are you up there? Okay, we'll leave it there, but we might change it. Okay, next up on the list, we have Fuck. Okay, so that track was a good start. It was like I was trying to get to like some of the heavier stuff, and it had a good foundation to it, but I think I shouldn't do too much with it. Should have amplified the original elements, and then I think I should have did a more traditional build, like a more traditional drop on it, and it might have been better, because I think the drop on it is probably the worst part. Like, the build is so good, but the drop is trash. It is... Oh, I want to say it's Adult Gohan, but I'm feeling like it's Krillin. But honestly, it could be Emperor Pilaf, to be completely honest. It's not that bad. We're going to put it on Krillin, because it could have used some work. Okay, we're going to jump around, because we need to... What do I think would be Emperor Pilaf tier? Honestly, Emperor Pilaf tier is going to go to Meteor Dust. So... Meteor Dust was one of the second tracks that I ever did, and it's still out on my SoundCloud, actually. And actually, fun fact is I did one of those stupid SoundCloud like master tests on it just to see if it made any difference. And as you guys know how shitty the SoundCloud mastering thing is, like, I've used it on most of my other tracks and it made it worse. It was the one example to where it actually made it a little bit better, if that tells you how crappy the song is. It was super unfinished and missed out a lot of layers, but it's still released, and for some reason it's still on my SoundCloud, because I haven't deleted it yet. I guess go back to your roots and see how shit tier you can be. And by shit tier, we're talking about Emperor Pilaf tier. So yeah, Meteor Dust 100% Emperor Pilaf tier. Like, trash, garbage. Like, get off of the list. I almost want to move Fuck down there a little bit, but like, I don't know. We'll keep Fuck there for right now. Okay. So next up on the list is a track from the White Noise Collective Spark LP, and I had the track called The First Spark. That was a track that I did later on, but really referenced a lot of the original kind of knots that I was talking about when I was talking about like how it was more like ambient and like more space kind of stuff like that. I feel like that is like a better version of the Particle song, if I'm being honest. So I'm actually going to put that in Adult Gohan tier. Like, I could probably play that as like an intro for like a set to kind of set a vibe. Like, that is very an intro song. It's also the intro for the album, so there's that. And the production's a little bit better, like, so yeah, Adult Gohan's fair for the last part. The next one's also from one of the White Noise albums. It's from the Jungle LP, same year that trio of albums came out. But this one, the track I did was another collab with my buddy Disciple. And this one was called Jungle, and it was really like housey, like tech housey. I did some like cool like vocally shit on that too. That was really fun. Honestly, man, I played the hell out of that song. I don't know if it's Adult Gohan tier or if it's Majin Vegeta. I think I'm gonna put it in Majin Vegeta just because it was that bitch for such a minute. It really was that bitch for such a minute. I played that song in all my sets, and I still made edits of it that I played out. He killed the master on that too. I'm gonna keep it in Adult Gohan. I don't think it's quite. I don't know. I might move that one too. We'll see. We'll see if any last thoughts at the end, if anything after we've gone through the list needs to be changed. But as for now, we'll just keep going through the list. Okay, so next up we have the Get Freaky, which Get Freaky was fun. That was a Halloween. I do Halloween track every year, and that was a track for Halloween that I did the year that I first got booked on Freaky Deaky Music Festival the first time. And I produced that. I premiered that at the festival. So that was really fun. Some people still tell me that that's one of their favorite songs. And while I think that's another example of a song where I think the concept's great, the mix needs to be cleaned up a lot because there's a lot of things that's really wide that needs to be centered more, in my opinion. At least, you change your sound as you go and you pick out your old stuff. But anyways, I think I would be actually okay with putting Get Freaky and Adult Gohan and moving the two Disciple collabs and Super Saiyan Majin Vegeta. Because Get Freaky was that bitch for the moment and the sense of like, it did the damn thing. But, it's kind of, like I said, Adult Gohan, he's got a family now. Like, he's still strong. He's got the power levels. Like, he could still kick some ass if he had to, bust it out. But, you got a kid. You got a family now. So Get Freaky's got a family now, Okay, so next up on the list, we have another track from one of the White Noise albums. This is from the Dark Noise LP. And this is when I did a track called Find Myself. It was like some mid-tempo-y dubstep vibes. It's not necessarily bad, but like, I don't really think it's Adult Gohan. Like, I mean, if I had to play it out, I would. And I have played it out, but it's just, you tried. You really tried on that one. You tried. Yeah, that's fair. Next up is that fair though? Because I'm looking at some of the other ones and I'm like, I kind of like that one more than no, that's fine. We might move them at the end. Next up on the list, we have the Water album from White Noise. If you're noticing, when I ran White Noise, I did a lot of music that came out on White Noise. And this one was a track where it was very different because I just really was like, I don't want to follow necessarily, which I still kind of did, but like, I wasn't necessarily like, I want to do the EDM formula. I was like, I really just kind of want to do my own thing. And that was a song that was, it was really actually more of a song to myself, which sometimes for the most part, I do write a lot of music for myself. But that was a song that was very specifically like the words were talking to myself because I was dealing with kind of some shit. And it was my way of being like, you need to own up to what you have and just kind of accept that you are, you're not as bad off as you think you are. So as far as song like wise goes, I really kind of like that one as well. I'm actually going to put that one in Adult Gohan. I'll put that in Adult Gohan for sure. Okay, so we need to put a song on Goku Super Saiyan God, and I think the next one, I'm going to skip this one, and we're going to go, so Let's See How You Do, because Let's See How You Do, I'm going to move that hoe up there. Let's See How You Do is Goku Super Saiyan God. Let's See How You Do is that song that when I play it, and I don't even care how many times I listen to it, and if you're a producer, you know how many times you listen to a lot of your music, that is that bop, that I'm still just like, let's see how you do. Go off, sis. And that is exactly why I think it's got that Goku power. It's giving me that Goku energy, that Goku God energy. Like, come on. Stream it on Spotify. Get on it. Okay. Next up, we're going to have the White Noise Fire album. I actually had 2 tracks on this album, and both of them I really like, but I'm only going to talk about one of them. One of them was the track that I rapped on, which was the first time I did a rapping track, like a track that I spit some bars. And I actually thought it was pretty fire. So you can check that out. That was called Fire Alarm. That's on that album. But we're actually going to talk about a collab I did with my buddy Altruist called Fire Blast. And that was a song where I was like, I want to make something heavy and just in your face and aggressive. And then sent it to Altruist and he just finished it off and it was like, wow, we made this song so fast and I fucking love it. Because it was just like, heater. I'm going to put that in Super Saiyan Majin Vegeta because it's not like, it's pretty up there as far as like iconic level. Like I said, Majin Vegeta's iconic. That's an iconic character. That is, and he's tough and he kicks some, but I don't think it's quite Goku Super Saiyan God, but it's definitely, yes. So Fire Blast up there. Okay, next up we have Waiting. This was the only feature on this list. And basically gonna put that as Super Saiyan God. We are gonna put that. It's Super Saiyan God because let's be honest, that song is a bop, and not only is Waiting a bop, but the remixes are a bop. And I don't like to really hype myself up as far as like, oh my god, this is the shit. Because I mean, I like to self-deprecate myself. I like to talk down on myself a lot. I could not find the word there. And Waiting is just a good song. John Kawhi Club really murdered the production of it. I enjoyed what he did with it when I sent him the vocals. And the story behind the song itself means a lot to me. It's iconic. It is up there. Definitely Goku Super Saiyan God tier. Like, and then some. Maybe even and then some, yeah. Next up, I have another feature. Another collab. This is with my buddy X-Wire. This is Boots and Cats. This was actually one of my first international label releases with Clipper Sounds in Spain. But where does it fall as far as power level is concerned on this list? Now, Boots and Cats is good. I think it's a vibe. It's fun. It's catchy. It's got this electro house, complextro kind of vibe, which I think it really is a good way to bring in both of X-Wire and my kind of sound, especially with the fun, like Boots and Cats are where it's at kind of lyrics. It's just a fun little song. You know what I mean? Is it Majin Vegeta level? Like, is it that bitch? I don't know. I think Boots and Cats are where it's at. And if I'm looking at some of these other ones, I'm like, I kind of feel like I need to go there. But I think I'm gonna go with Adult Gohan. Or Adult Gohan, don't kill me. I think Adult Gohan, because it's like they're good, but it's just, it doesn't quite have that level of being that iconic. So, and he still can kick ass. Come on, look at Gohan. And look at his wife. Look at them both. All right. So next up is Ain't Got Shit, which was my newest release, out now on Spotify and all platforms. And it's actually the first single off the next era of KNOTZ, next album I'm kind of working on. And what power level do you think that one is? So honestly, I really kind of want to put it up in the Super Saiyan God category just because it's like, it is that bitch song to me. It is where I'm just like, it's not necessarily directed at anyone particular. It's more of like a collection of experiences and just the internet as a whole and like, people talking shit and all that other kind of stuff. And I just feel like it's sassy enough to be up there. But I'm going to have to honestly put it in Super Saiyan Majin Vegeta because I don't think it's quite that iconic yet. Like, maybe down the line I'll look back at it later and be like, maybe we need to move that up. Like, it was that bitch. Like, that is the KNOTZ track. But let's let it fully figure out its power level. It's not quite there yet. So Super Saiyan Majin Vegeta, but mostly only because it's a newer release. So we got to give it some time to, get in that hyperbolic time chamber and do a little training. Never doing that voice again. All right. So next up, we have Stroke Bud, which was, so this is the artwork for the Neapolitan EP, which Stroke Bud was on. Let's See How You Do was also on that EP, but there, and as well as a track with Finesse. But this artwork, we're going to mostly associate it with Stroke Bud as far as this goes. Stroke Bud was one of those things where, if you don't know what the whole backstory behind Stroke Bud, it was just internet fuckery, basically. That's all you need to know. But it was a situation that was kind of funny. It just worked out in a way about making a song about it and, making the best out of a bad situation. And I got a lot of notoriety locally for it. So I'm going to have to put it in Goku Super Saiyan God because it also, as well as Let's See How You Do, I think that kind of helped transition me into what I want to focus on with my brand. And it just helped me get that diversity and then the sexy funness, but like the different kind of vibes. That was a good way to really embody that. And then just the story behind it and all the other shit all together just is like iconic. Like, come on, iconic. So then the last one we have here is Space Geometry, which is actually my first release ever. And Space Geometry, I wish I still had, it was another one I wish I had the project file too. I could totally remake it. But it's one that needs like a vocal. It needs like a good rap over it, like, or something, or like some kind of feature, something else over it. But what's the power level of it? Has it aged well enough to be up higher on the tier? I mean, that's the question that we're here to ask. That's literally why we're here. The answer to that, where though? But where? I don't think it can stand the test of time as far as just the quality that it's at now. I feel like all these other ones could, like I could in theory get away with playing all these other ones out, but I don't think this one's really quite up there. And for that reason, I'm going to have to say your Krillin level. I'm so sorry, Space Geometry. I know, it's one of my favorites. I love it so much. But you just got the Krillin power level. As far as the DBZ scale, that's where you're going. That's where you're going on the list. So let's go down the list real quick and just see where we have anybody. Actually, let's go bottom up. So in the bottom tier, Emperor Pilaf, the waist of the waist, we have Meteor Dust. And yeah, should I take it down? Probably, but am I leaving it up? Yeah, because I think it's good to show where you came from. Krillin, we got Particles, Fuck, Find Myself, and Geometry, Space Geometry. Dolgohan, we have Alt 0216. First Spark, Get Freaky, The Rain, and Boots and Cats. Super Saiyan Majin Vegeta, we have Trying, we have Jungle, we have Fire Blast, and we have Ain't Got Shit. And then on the Goku Super Saiyan God tier, the creme de la creme as far as like the KNOTZ brand and like all of that to me, we have Let's See How You Do, and we have Waiting with Kawaii Club, and then Stroke Bud. And that's it. I mean, I think that's pretty much the list. If you guys got this far in the video, kudos to you. I just wanted to do something fun and silly, talk about my music, but also, you know, kind of put it out there like that. So if you guys liked it, be sure to give me the thumbs up, hit that notification bell to subscribe, and leave a comment and share it to your friends, because that's what the YouTuber people do. So I have to do that so that, you know, I get more followers. Okay, anyways, you get the tea. Thank you guys so much, especially if you checked out my newest track, Ain't Got Shit. You can find the link in the description below. And there's also going to be a link to my merch store where you can also check out my new Ain't Got Shit shirt. It's going to be on there as well as a little face mask and a tank top. So get your merch on. There's some old merch for some of the other tracks. And head over to your streaming platforms to check out some of these songs if you missed them. Most of them are on my SoundCloud, though, so that'd probably be a good place to start. Have a great day. So long, farewell. Naughty Knots out.